I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, what's an analog watch doing on a channel that's all about digital watches? Well, this one's got a little bit of a surprise. It's got a digital part as well. Ooh. Hello Casiopians and welcome to Digital Casio. Today we'll be taking a look at this rookie Casio, the RKA-508. So I came across this watch on Yahoo Auctions in Japan and I was intrigued by it. I'd never seen one before, so I put a bid on it and I ended up winning. It cost me $35 plus the shipping and charges, etc. But when I finally got it, I'm absolutely impressed. So after doing some research, I came across two other models from the rookie range. These are the RKA-507, this one's the 508 and the 509. So this watch is obviously inspired by watches from like the 1600s, like the pocket watches. And yeah, I don't think there's been any other watches like it. So the case of this watch is a fully stainless steel with this gold finish. It's a clamshell design with a hole in the top so that you can see the analog display through the hole. It has a hinge at the top and a locking mechanism on the bottom. So on the right hand side we have a pusher and we have the crown. And from this profile you can see that the top part actually gives the watch quite a bit of height. And on the left hand side we have just one pusher. Okay, so let's open this up and see the inside part. So with it open you can now see the full analog display plus the digital time. You can see here that at the top you have this like roller clasp. It's like a pin and that clips onto the bottom there and holds it in place very securely. There is some tarnish where the top actually sits on top of the bottom part of the case, and the crystal is mineral crystal. So this watch came with this leather band. Focus. Came with this leather band. I don't think it's original. But it still looks pretty good, although it is kind of degrading somewhat. And it has this nice gold buckle on the end. So it's got the words uncle on there, and in my research uncle are actually Seiko. And this part of the band is just falling apart, which is a shame. If anybody knows a replacement part for this, please let me know. So this has a stainless steel back and it also has a serial number. Now according to my research, the 0 on the beginning of the serial number denotes that it's from 1990 and it is of the push-on friction variety. So let's open it up again so that we can set the time. So the analog and the digital time run independently, so to get these in sync I'll have to do this in two parts. So I'll wait for the analog time for the second hand to get to the 12 o'clock and I will stop the watch at that point. So I'll stop the watch by pulling on the crown, and then I can adjust the time by turning the crown. And I'll set this to 3:30. Okay, so it's dead on 3:30, so I can go ahead and start the analog time again. And now that that's set, I'll go ahead and adjust the digital time. Oops. So it's currently displaying the dual time, so I'll put it back onto regular timekeeping mode, and I'll push in and hold the left button to start the adjustment. Okay, so the seconds start flashing, and I can use the right hand button to adjust the seconds. So now that the second hand is still on its way, I'll do the hours and the minutes by using a combination of the left and right buttons. It has a 12 or 24 hour option. I prefer 12 hour, so just keep it on there. Okay, now press this in again to adjust the time. So just coming up to 3:31, and I'll synchronize the digital with the analog, just like so. Now that they're in sync, I press the adjust button until it's set. There we go. So using the right hand button, we'll go to the first function, which in this case is the date, and we'll adjust this by pressing and holding the left button. So using the right button, we'll set the month to June, press the left, the date starts flashing, and we'll set this to the 15th. Press the left again, and the day of the week, we'll put this on Wednesday. There is no year on this watch. So the next function is the daily alarm. There's only one alarm on this. And we can do an alarm test by pressing and holding the right hand button on the alarm. So now we'll go ahead and set the alarm by pressing and holding the left button. Hours flash, and we use the right hand button to adjust the hours. Then we do the same combination for the minutes. So the final option on this is the alarm and the hourly signal. So we get the alarm, hourly signal, and both. So we'll put this back to timekeeping mode and wait for the alarm. So that we have a nice loud crisp 20-second alarm. I know you've already seen it, but we'll set up the dual time now. And once again, we use a combination of the left and the right buttons to adjust the time. We'll just set this for 9:36. Not what I planned, but we'll go with it. And then we can choose 12 or 24 hour option. In this case I will stick with the 24 hours because I get confused by the two. It says DL in the corner, but it's really tiny. You don't see it straight off. So the final function is the stopwatch. We can use just the left button on this one. It's got a start, stop, and to reset you press and hold it. So it's not a huge amount of functions. It's comparable to the AQ series of watches, but for a watch that is technically an analog watch, it's not too bad. Okay, so let's take a look at this on the wrist. I have a 7-inch wrist and the case is pretty decent size for my wrist. The leather band looks pretty good. So this watch with this small hole in the middle, it just seems a little weird. It'll take some getting used to. But with the case open, then the watch comes totally impractical, which is a real shame because the style of the watch is really nice, but that flip top lid just doesn't work this way. That's a shame. It's got a pretty decent weight, coming in at 42 grams, so it's not too heavy, not too light. I like it.
So for functionality, it gets a 2, practicality a 2, quality a 9, availability 1, and collectability 8. So this gives a total score of 4.4 out of 10. You know, Casio have made a number of flip-top watches in their time, but the rookie RKA-508, along with its siblings, the 507 and 509, are completely impractical, but highly unusual. So much so that a casual viewing amongst other watches and you probably wouldn't even recognize it as a Casio. But I'm a sucker when it comes to unusual, and I can't help but love this watch. I just wonder why they called it Adventure Club. If anybody has any information about the Rookie Adventure Club series or the RKA-8s, I'd love to hear your comments below. Of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would also appreciate a subscribe if you don't mind. And if you do that, you could even go to whole hog and click that little bell. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll leave you with the specs. Until next time, ta-ra!